It's a pleasure to be back here, especially on this beautiful day with this beautiful view. I start with this radical premise, and that is this, that everybody in this room can be a really good public speaker if you want to figure it out. If you're smart enough to go to law school, and you're smart enough to work at a firm like this, you're smart enough to be a good public speaker. It's just a matter of having the appropriate technique. And if you already are a good public speaker, you can get a lot better if you focus on your technique. I've worked exclusively with attorneys now for the last 32 years, and either I'm teaching advocacy and persuasion to litigators and trial lawyers, or I'm teaching public speaking for all those other practice groups that don't go into a courtroom. But regardless of what it is that I'm teaching, I'm really trying to get to the answer for you to this question. How do you speak well as you think on your feet? It's what a trial lawyer is trying to do in court. It's what I'm trying to do as I talk to you. It's what you do, whether you're standing up in front of your colleagues in a small conference room, or speaking to a board of directors in a boardroom, or teaching that CLE in your particular practice area in a big hotel ballroom. And so although the forum changes and certainly the topic changes, the challenge and the question that we're all wrestling with is some variation of this. How do you speak well as you think on your feet? And how do you hold that audience's attention? And especially for people who are reticent about public speaking, which, is much of the world. I know that some of you are saying, well, not me, I'm not that person who can be a public speaker. I didn't so much select my practice area as I deselected litigation because I decided I never wanted to be that person in court, and that's why I went into trust and estates or M&A or whatever it might be. But everybody at some point has to get up and speak. And the world expects that everybody in this room is a good public speaker. And I know that from this personal experience played out over the last 3 decades. I'm at a social function or a professional function. Someone says to me, what do you do? I say, I teach public speaking to attorneys. Here's the response 99% of the time. First a chuckle, and then the question, do they need that? Because their assumption is, of course quite incorrectly, that all lawyers are trial lawyers, and all lawyers are like those actors pretending to be trial lawyers who stand up and talk in court so eloquently, if you're Sam Waterston in Law & Order. And so the expectation, the bar, frankly, is set really high for you because everyone thinks everyone in this room is really good at this. And my belief is you can be really good at it. And you can get even better. But as with any skill, it's a matter of saying, well, can we break it down into its component parts? That's the only way to understand any particular skill, is to say, let's look at what the skill really requires and break it down and then put it back together. And I work with, on any given year, maybe 800 to 1,000 attorneys one-on-one. And when I ask people about their public speaking experience, often someone who is sent to me because, oh my gosh, now I've got to make that speech that I hoped I would never have to make. And I ask them about public speaking. They say, oh, I hate it. Well, have you done it very much? No. Well, did you ever get trained to do it? No. And to me, that's a little like my saying, I hate golf. I can't play golf. Did you ever have a lesson? No. Have you ever worked with a golf pro? No. I just have this intrinsic sense that I'm not a good golfer, but I've never actually done it. So I spent a lot of time trying to help people over that hump to realize not only can you be good at it, but, and this is the important part, once you get good at it, it's a kick, it's a buzz, it's a thrill to stand in front of people and say, can I do this difficult thing? It's a little like extreme sports. The mountain climber or the skier at any moment could die on the mountain, just as any speaker standing in front of an audience in some way could, I could be dying up here, as comedians often say. But it's living within that thrill of saying, I know at any moment I could die up here, but man, the view is great, and the thrill is profound.